I'm doing this right now just to experiment with her hair. I know her right side of her hair, her face is covered, but the actual style of her hair, I don't know. Anyway, you know what? I've been looking at these videos and shit, and it'd be like, you encounter different people on YouTube. And I remember my mom said any idiot can make a YouTube channel. She said that like a long time ago. Because it was something that she was watching or something somebody said, and whatever. So the particular video I'm talking about, it was like this dude. And well, first let me even go back. Like I remember my friend, he was telling the story. And he kept saying right all the time. And I remember this was in I don't know, 2015 or something. And he was telling the story. And he was saying right all the time. And I was like okay. Like he'll be like, I saw this house, I was walking down the street, right? And I'm like, okay. I wasn't with you, so how do I know? And then he was like, I saw this house, it blew up, right? I'm just making an example. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then I remember he was like, oh, I was just saying that I'm just saying. I was like, oh, okay. Because if I don't know you were there, you can't say right as if I'm supposed to know that you was there. I was just confused at the shit at the time. And so then it was like this chick on YouTube, and she says the shit all the time, like after every fucking sentence. And this shit is annoying. And so I was watching this dude last night. He was talking, and what he was saying was on some real shit. He was saying some real shit. I give him that. It's about this, basically what's going on in the world today. He was saying some real shit. But he kept saying right all the time. Every fucking sentence. Like it was like the right is the period out of every sentence. And so I was gonna let the shit go at first, because I was kind of like almost binge watching a couple of his videos. And he just, he was saying right all the time. I was like, damn, this is annoying though. Because, it just comes off like you don't know what you're going to say next. Or it just seems like you got a lack of vocabulary. You got to keep, saying the same word over and over again. Right. Like I was working on this character, right? And I had to rotate the camera, right? Like, and you don't have to keep saying right all the time. And so, people in the comments section, the sycophants, the sack holders, the dick riders and nut huggers. One dude said, shut the fuck up and respect this work. And then the dude actually commented, said, oh well, and he had the oh well emoji. This is how I talk. And so then the other dude said, you could stop listening, with a question mark. So I was like, this, because right before I even got on here, I was like, I said to the one dude that said, shut the fuck up and respect this work. I was like, shut the fuck up and stop dick riding. And then the other person that said, you could stop listening, I said, you're right. And I just let it go. And so I basically unrecommended his channel. You could go to people's channels and shit and unrecommend. I unrecommended the dude's channel because it's just like, Like these type of people, they got their fans, their undying fans. That's just, and it wasn't even like I was disagreeing what he said in the video. I was just irritated of the fact that just him saying right all the time. And I said, and I actually put please at the end. Like you didn't have like the followers didn't have to say like shut the fuck up. I said please. I was trying to be respectful. But you can't be respectful in the comment section though. You just can't do that shit. Because it's just like, you know, people do this shit in their homes. You know, they're in the safety of their homes. Like nobody would see it. I'm gonna be honest. If I found that same person that said shut the fuck up, or both, you could stop listening. He wouldn't have been like in my face like shut the fuck up, respect his work. He would have been like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like this is how he talks though, or like he wouldn't have been on no shut the fuck up, because he wouldn't be in his house. He'd be in the streets, face to face, man to man. And even the person that said stop listening, you could stop listening, wouldn't even have said that. They would have been like, they would have said something like, you know, like, is that really bothering you? You know what I mean? Nobody would have been on some shut the fuck up type thing. Because what's it called? People be like, you know, hiding. What's it called? Anonymity. You know, like you don't know who these people are. Because even the dude that makes the video, you don't see his face. You don't see who he is. You know what I mean? And then with the whole thing, respect his work. As far as I know, I'm seriously thinking how to come about this. Because what I'm about to say is like, I don't know how people will take it, but it just is what it is. As far as I know, all this person does is just sits at home, gets on the internet or YouTube, and look up like different articles and makes a video about it. He gets on his computer, he makes a video about it, and that's it. And to seriously sit up there and say respect his work, it's like, what work though? Like I'm not even gonna drag. Look. I'm like, what work are you doing? What work are you doing? Like, that's not work. Like, that's just not work. It's just not. It's just like the dude I was talking about a while back. And he talks about this popular video game. And it's coming out in the game. I'm gonna give like a small hint. The game is about to have a DLC soon in the summer. And so the dude was like, he gets up, like basically what time is it now? It's like 5:46 a.m. Now dude said he gets up and he looks at somebody's like Twitter that talks about the particular game and whatever, because they have to translate it in English, and whatever they say, he basically makes a video about it. And it's like, but dude, you're basically taking whoever's work that is, and basically somewhat claiming it your own, or giving the impression that you're the one who came up with this shit, and everybody's following it like, oh, like this dude, he got the inside scoop, when he really doesn't. He just follows somebody on Twitter and just takes their shit and then runs back on his camera. It was just like this dude, like I was talking about, and he was telling one of his dudes, some dude said something, and he was like, you know, like, I'm doing the work, and you're just listening to me, and all this other shit. And I'm like, and I had to tell him, I was like, but the dude that you're talking about could do the exact same thing you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I upgraded my mic. I got the blue snowball and shit. That was like, what? $40, $46. I still got my same camera. Like, you're acting like you're actually doing something. Like with this dude that I'm talking about, like you're on like YouTube, basically talking about your opinion about this, like the game that I'm talking about. The dude that was like, oh, shut the fuck up, you watching me? Like, you're watching a game talking about your opinion. Like, anybody could do that, though. I mean, it's not like you're doing anything that special. Anybody could do what you were doing. And then the dude that I'm talking about, that look at the guy overseas, like his Twitter, is like, you're just basically like copying somebody else's work. And like I said, he's not saying he's passing it off on his own, but technically you are, because a lot of people are not following the same dude overseas that you're doing, like that you're following. So it's going to kind of look like, if they follow the dude on YouTube, it's going to seem like he is the one that's coming up with this shit on his own. And that's why people be listening to the dude. But I could wake up exactly the time I'm waking up. Now, I don't know what part of the country he's in, or the United States, but I could wake up early in the morning, find out who he's following first, because he's on, on Twitter. Find out who he's following and do the exact same thing, and then be consistent enough to, like, put the video out there. Like what are you doing? Like, and going back to the dude that I was talking about at first, talking about respect his work. It's like, you're not doing anything. You're not doing no work. You're just running your mouth on some bullshit. I mean, even the dude like I said, the dude's video, what he was talking about is not bullshit. Like, it's real, but just constantly saying right all the time is annoying. It's just annoying. And then having your subscribers is like this cult of personality that is like they would just attack you and shit. Just like, stop talking about him. We'll protect this dude. And it's like I never was like that, like a cult of personality type person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't like too many people anyway. So I'm not going to be like going to war over somebody I don't know. It was just like I'm never forgetting this shit. I remember, when was that? 2013. And I was like, me and a friend, like he's not a friend, but he was cool at the time. And we was talking about our project. And then we started to talk about like Iron Man, because Iron Man 3 was coming out at the time. It was 2013. It was something like that. And so this dude came up, just some random guy, just some random dude. And he came up and he was talking about, I think, Spider-Man or something. He was talking about somebody. And I was like, basically, oh, they weak. I don't watch the shit. And he kind of was like looking like, how dare he? And almost on some like if he could physically do it, he would want to fight me or something. And I'm just sitting up here looking at this shit like, bro, like you don't know this. You don't know the people that made this shit, bro. And you going to war over a character that you didn't create. You don't know the people who created it. You have no stock in the company. And even still, those people ain't fighting nobody over this shit. So why are you acting so sycophant? What's it called? Whatever. Like, you just acting like a sycophant right now, bro. You acting fanatical. That's what I was looking for. It's just like, my man, like, stop. Like, I remember like when I like worked at FedEx and we was all talking about like sports and who was the greatest basketball player of all time. And some people was talking about, and this was 2010. And you know, people was talking about like Michael Jordan, LeBron James. You're like, LeBron James didn't have as many. This was in 2010. Like, LeBron didn't have as many rings as Jordan. And I remember I was like, you know, these new players don't have the same work ethic as the old players. And some dude was like, work ethic? What's that? I was like, wow. So, you know, we was talking to dude was like Bill Russell. If you talking about rings, Bill Russell got more rings than everybody. And then, you know, they were saying, but look who he was playing against at the time. He wasn't playing against nobody. You know, it was like this whole thing. And so some dude said, what about Derrick Rose? And we was kind of like, Derrick Rose? And so dude, some guy was like, Derrick Rose ain't nothing, or he said something negative towards Derrick Rose. And so the dude got in his face and was like, what you say about Derrick Rose? And everybody was like, yo, man, calm down. And so dude, he was like, man, you better get out my face. And it's like, on some real shit, like, you don't know Derrick Rose, bro. You don't know Derrick Rose. Why are you getting why are you fighting another man over another man you don't know? Like, it just looks weird. I mean, you was that mad that you would fight for Derrick Rose. Like, he's making millions of dollars. He's nowhere in the vicinity for him to know you fighting for his honor. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. So that's what I'm saying about these dudes on YouTube. Like, you got the people fighting and shit. Like, why? Like I said, I respectfully said, please, in the comment section. But you got these nutsacks talking like, oh, shut the fuck up. And I'm the type of person to be like, I'm not just gonna let that shit go. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. And you defended somebody, like I said, you're talking about respect his work. Again, the man you're talking about, as far as I know, just sits on his ass making YouTube videos. Like, just talking about his opinion on something. Like, it's not like it would be one thing if he was like showing people like a tutorial how to do something, or you see him building or creating something. That'll be almost one thing. But the people like fighting for a dude you don't know. You don't know this dude. It's not like he's your cousin or relative or nothing. You don't know this dude. So I'm just like, it's just ridiculous to see, like, just people just acting like a fool basically. And like I said, just on just the strength of what he was saying. Like I said, he was saying some real shit, but just stop saying right all the time. Like right, like I was doing this character's hair, right? Like if I'm telling the story, I mean I'm not there. I wasn't with you. So I don't know if you was or not. But you're saying this shit like I'm supposed to agree with it. Like, right? I don't know. Like I'm not there. I'm not gonna agree. It just comes off as like bad English or some shit. Like you trying to get the person listening to you to agree with the story you're telling. That's how it basically comes off. Like I don't know if you was walking down the street. I mean, it's just a weird thing to put in a conversation. Just be like, I was walking down the street, I saw this dude's house blow up, and then dude came out, and he was like, "These motherfuckers are trying to kill me." And then you saw like a whole army of people, and he was fighting the people, and I was like off to the side, like, oh shit, blah blah blah. I mean, just saying like I was walking down the street, right? And then this guy's house blew up, right? And this guy came out, right? And he was like, these motherfuckers trying to kill me, right? And then there was a whole gang of people, right? Like, man, just stop saying. That's all I was basically saying. That's all I was saying, dude. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying nothing about his videos. I wasn't saying nothing about him personally. I was just saying that particular thing. But it's like you can't never tell nobody shit. You know what I'm saying? You just can never tell nobody shit because people got egos. People got unwarranted egos these days because it's just like you feel that you have a, like I remember back in the day growing up, you know. Even this is kind of like a blessing and a curse. It was like, it used to cost like millions of dollars to own a channel, like a CBS, ABC, you know, them type of channels. It's like millions of dollars to own a channel. And I remember a long time ago, I always had this dream to have like an anime channel. It just showed anime all the time, and it would have been an easy way to like have my own shit on there for free. Like I wouldn't have to I wouldn't have to worry about like anything crazy. You know what I mean? Like cancellations or some shit. But it was just like my own anime channel. And I was like, man, that's going to cost a lot of money. So now you got YouTube, and everybody refers to their platform as a channel. And it's cool that you don't have to do that whole, like, you could bypass the middleman type shit. Or like you could, you know, if you got the means, you could like, you know, make something and make a lot of money off of it. That's cool. But at the same time, it boosts people's heads up to the whole notion like, I got a channel. I got something comparative to a CBS or NBC. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, it's nice to have your own thing where you got an audience and people listening to you, but it's not the same, man. It's just not the same. Like, just sit up there and act like you got this thing that's like comparative. Like I got more, more people be listening to me than CBS or whatever, but it's not the same thing. I mean, it's dinosaur media, like they call it, and people like this particular person be saying some real shit that the networks don't say. But again, it's not comparative though. You're not, you stop, like, but it's like people got egos that like I got 1 million subscribers, and it's like my shit is comparative. But again though, like, how long you think this? I mean, I'm not saying that YouTube is gonna die anytime soon, but it's like, how long could you last with this though? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got mad people that had YouTube channels like some odd years ago that just basically stopped. Like, rather they get families or something else better comes along in their personal life, or something happens to them or whatever. Like, but how long could you? How the longevity of your channel? It'll be rare for you to have longevity in this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, on getting on your soapbox, which is the platform you stand on. Hence the word platform. But it's like, how long could you keep this going? You know what I mean? Because even with me, I don't have like mad people subscribing to my channel, and I don't have like eons of subscribers and people watching my shit. But I didn't get into this for that reason though. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get into that for that reason. I got into this for a whole different other thing. So I'm not like looking. If I get like a lot of people following my shit, that's cool. But that wasn't it though. It was more like kind of. It was more on finding someone. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like I was more looking to find someone. And truth be told, I think I have, but I'm not completely sure how far that's going to go. But I'm not going to sit up here and thinking like, oh, I got something comparative to like the networks and people listening to me, and if you don't like what I'm saying, you could shut the fuck up. And I mean, like, motherfucker, please, dude. Like I said, like these dudes, especially, like I said, some of these dudes, like my man, again, somebody could do this same shit you're doing. I mean, cause it's not hard. It's just not a hard thing. Again, you could get up in the morning and find out, like say if I wanted to make a Black Desert channel, like it was talking about Black Desert, the MMO in South Korea. That I like that game, and now I'm pretty just like in Japan, where they're like mad hours ahead of us in America. So like I said, I could get up in the morning and find out what the news is about Black Desert, because they always updating their shit all the time, like all the time. And they have like a news wire. I could just get up in the morning, read that news wire, basically read off what the news wire is, and then just put clips of like Black Desert, like edited while I'm doing a voiceover, and just give credit to whose like video it is. Or if it's my own shit, then it's just, I don't have to do that. It's just mine. And then I could just constantly keep doing that every day. And then just find like different shit in Black Desert to talk about. Like, oh, if you go to this what do they call them? Oh man, what do they call them? Anyway, I think a raid or something. They can go to this raid and do this, and this enemy you gotta have like over 100 AP, because these dudes could one shot you, blah blah blah, and then you upgrade. You could take off the skill points and put them in this skill points. Because I was looking up skill trees the other day, and I was like, I forgot that you could remove the points off of the shit and redirect them somewhere else. So it's like I could just make like and just keep doing that shit, like, and I could just sit in my home doing that. Like, that's not like a thing where it'll be like I don't know, like I said, building something or showing somebody how, like a tutorial how to, like, I don't know, like if your car breaks down, this is how to fix your carburetor or something. Or your serpentine belt. Your serpentine belt falls off and you don't want it to fall off again, and this is why it slipped off, and this, I'm gonna show you how to fix it. You know what I mean? Like spark plugs, this is how you put spark plugs in and not electrocute yourself, or whatever the fuck the case is. Like, that's one thing, but if it's like just like, and then shout out to the people. Like I said, I have no problem with the people that do this stuff. But when you start having like a big head and like a big ego about it, and then you got like people just defending you that don't know you, then it's kind of like, wow, bro. Like I said, I have no problem with people. Like, let me say this again, because some people just be like, I have no problem with people that actually do videos about a particular thing. Like, it's this one guy. Like, it's this one dude. He's been making videos about this video game since it came out. And it's been out for a very long time. And all he does is that's all he does is make videos about it. I have no problem with him, because he's not coming off like he's better than anybody. Even though he don't really say nothing, he don't say nothing in the comment section. But he doesn't see, he just makes the video, he puts it out, and boom, that's it. He doesn't have a big head like, oh, if you don't like my shit, you can shut the fuck up, or like people be like, oh, you can stop listening, or he's not like that. So he talks about this particular video game all the time. I have no problem with him, because like I said, he doesn't come off as an asshole. It's the people that come off as an asshole that's the issue. That's the real issue, is when people start coming off crazy. You know what I'm saying? And this dude doesn't. So it's not like I'm picking on people like, and even with the dude that looks at the guy on Twitter, I have no problem with him either. I'm just saying what his tactic was, and saying somebody could do the same thing. Somebody could do the exact same shit. But he does what he does, that's cool. But like I said, I was just saying the tactic. Now, the other guy that was like, the guy on the thing was talking about like, oh, then you can shut the fuck up, and I'm making this channel, and you're listening to me, and you can shut the fuck up. That dude, now, that's the problem. Because you're acting like you high and mighty, when you basically don't. You like I said, you got the camera and a mic, and you're not doing nothing either, but to stating your opinion about a video game. Like, anybody could do that. So don't act like you're like this dude, like I'm like this games journalist, like I'm Walter Cronkite or some shit, or Barbara Walters or something, and they're like, I'm doing something. Like, motherfucker, what? And like I said, anybody could do that. But like I said, the dude that be waking up in the morning, I'm just saying what he did. And the last time I saw his stuff, which was like last year, like months ago, he doesn't have an attitude. The guy I'm talking about, the other dude that made this like channel about this video game, he has no issue, even though mad people hate on him. And it's like, if you really don't like him, yeah, you could not watch the channel. You could not watch the dude. So it's just a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. You know what I mean? But I just had to say this. I just had to put this out. I just had to say something. Cause it's just like, I don't know. Because what if YouTube start putting new rules out? You know what I mean? And now you can't say certain things on YouTube, and now you got to change your whole channel up. You know what I mean? Then it's like, what are you gonna talk about now? You know, what are you gonna do now? Some people be like, oh man, I could just get back on the shit grinding. It's like, okay. But again, like the YouTube ride, like how long could you ride this wave? I'm just saying. But like I said, I just respectfully just said, could you stop saying right all the time? Because I didn't say it sound annoying. I just said, could you please? I said, could you stop saying right after every sentence, please? You know what I'm saying? I said, please. I said, could you stop, please? Please. Then they was like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, dude. Then I had to be like, dude. I had to be like, dude, you shut the fuck up. Stop dick riding. Just stop. Just stop dick riding. Just stop. I mean, cause it don't look. I mean, it's one thing if you like somebody or like you like this particular person. But like I said about in FedEx, when you start trying to fight somebody or just even being antagonistic, then it just comes off like you dick riding. It just comes off like you got the man's dick in your ass. Or in your hand, one of them, like you got the man's dick somewhere on you. And it just don't look right, especially as a man. It just don't look right. It just don't look right. And you could just be behind the internet. Like, I'm never going to see the person that said that shit. And so you act all big and bad, like, yeah, shut the fuck up. You know, you suck ass and blah, 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 blah. And he's somewhere in like I don't know, Florida or somewhere. Like, I'm nowhere near Florida. So you could say all this shit and just and be protected in your home. But you wouldn't say that shit to my face though. Cause you act like a punk bitch, like, oh man, that's just how he talks, you know. I mean, everybody got a different vocabulary and vernacular. I mean, why you getting on him about saying right all the time? Like, it's like that. Like, see? Like, matter of fact, let me say this. It was this dude. And it was like, I think it was like in 2013. And, okay, it was a podcast that me and these two dudes were trying to get together. One dude was in San Francisco, I think. And the other guy was in Detroit. But we was like on the phone kind of trying to see the vibe between us. Like trying to, like, you know, how we interact with each other basically. But dude kept hemming and hawing about the podcast. And especially my broadcast at the time. I didn't have all this mic and shit. So I could have just done it just straight over the phone. And so, this one guy, the guy in Detroit, you know, he was always like the hot-headed one. You know what I mean? But he didn't really direct his shit at me, though. And so, you know, we was all talking one day. And so, dude, he was saying something. I forgot exactly how the argument happened because it's been so long ago. And he said something, and I had to get in his ass. And he was like saying, like, he was trying to act like he was all big and bad. And I was, saying what I had to say. But the thing is, though, you live in Detroit, and the other guy lives in San Francisco. And when I saw his picture on like, I think Facebook or something, he was like this short ass dude, short stubby motherfucker. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you're not gonna say shit to my face, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna act like this in my face. You're just not gonna do it. I'm not saying I'm like the toughest dude ever. I'm not trying to say all that, but it's just like, it's just a different thing. Just period. It's just a different thing when you actually see somebody. Like, you're not gonna act the way you act in public like you act at home. It's very rare people act the same way. Because you're in your home, you could act as goofy as you want to, or like whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna be. Yeah, I'm just saying. I was gonna say something crazy, but you're not gonna seriously put yourself out in public like how you do at home. You're a totally different person. You know what I mean? It's like when you talk to your friends versus if you're talking to strangers. You ain't gonna say no real shit to a stranger because you don't know what type of stranger you talking to. You know what I mean? And like, this dude is in Detroit. Like, I'm not gonna travel all the way to Detroit, and I don't know where he is in Detroit to be like, man, what the fuck you say? What the fuck you say? Like, I'm not gonna be doing all that. You know what I mean? So just stop with the antics, bro. It's just stop. Like I said, I'm gonna stop. I said what I have to say. It's just, people are just weird. People are weirdos. People are straight weirdos. I mean, you see weirdos out there, and people are very hypocritical. I mean, all these people are not all, but they're just hypocrites. They're mad hypocrites. Like, one dude, he's just hypocrite. He's just. I'm gonna just say this, and then I'm gonna get off. The man was always talking about something, and he was always bragging about this thing, this type of lifestyle. But then when people got on him, he wasn't practicing what he preached. And he had to apologize. Like, I would do apologize. Like, he had to apologize to his audience and basically ask for forgiveness because he wasn't living the lifestyle. But for me, I didn't care. Because I heard about how he wasn't living right. And it wasn't like he was. That's bad choice of words. He was living his life. It wasn't that he wasn't living right. He was just hypocritical. Now, I knew 2016, his get down. It was rumblings that, you know what I mean, he wasn't living what he was preaching. I didn't care. It wasn't harming me. And I just liked the message. And he seemed like a cool dude at the time. But then when he started moving around, then he started to get this big head, like he was like Moses on the mountain. He saw the burning bush, and they're like, I talked to God, and y'all didn't. It's like, Anyway, so he wasn't practicing what he preached. And when he came out and apologized, I'm like, you ain't gotta apologize to me, because I didn't care. I just cared about the message. And that was it. And he was a good dude at the time. It was just like, whatever. But you find a lot of people hypocritical. Like, another person's talking about all this stuff, but it's just, I'm not going to say who, but it's just like, come on, dude. Like, It's just too many people. I could put all these people that I'm thinking about. I could literally put out dossiers on people and basically show how hypocritical all of them are. Each one of them. Each one of them. Except for one, like I would say, like maybe one dude. But one guy, like you don't know how he looks like. So, like you talking all this, and nobody knows how you look like. You seem like it's just like people. Some people have imposter syndrome. People have the imposter syndrome, and it's like again, I could put out something on all these dudes, and they'll all look funny style. But I'm just not going to do that though. You know what I mean? And then one dude, they be trying to get on him about his shit, but you know he kind of laughs it off. And always kind of has this weak, it's not even a weak counterpoint, but it's kind of lukewarm though. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, how does that work out on the holidays though, bro? I mean, or you're going to see this person somewhere, or what about this person's significant other? I mean, is he like that too? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's just, come on, bro. I mean, but like I said, I have no problem. Me personally, I have no problem with it. But it's just the people that you be watching. It just be looking. It's just hypocritical. That's all. Because I stand by what I said. I said I don't have a problem with people with YouTube channels that actually sit there. Research stuff sitting in their house, not actually going out trying to interview people, be the man on the street. You're sitting there looking up stuff in your house, making a YouTube video about said thing. It's like whatever. That's cool. But when you start acting like you having a big head, or people attacking you because of you saying something politely, just respectfully on some, just because you stop doing the thing, it's like the people start coming after you, or you having this attitude like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. But anybody could do what you doing though, bro. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody could be a mechanic. I mean, not everybody could be a mechanic. Some people don't have the desire to do it. Some people don't have the means to have like have a broken down car, fix it, and you know, the tools and shit. Not everybody could pull that off. But literally anybody could buy cameras and you know, if you got some type of money and a mic, get on there and just be consistent about like a thing, like a topic that constantly evolves and something constantly happens. Anybody could do that and will move you out, especially if you're compelling enough or charismatic enough. Then the dude will be pushed to the side, and then they'll basically force him out. Basically, like his viewership will go down. You know what I mean? And especially if he says something kind of fucked up that some people wouldn't agree with, like the dude I was saying that wasn't living right. Some people unsubscribe to the dude. You know what I mean? Like some people, you say something fucked up, people will unsubscribe. You may write it off like, oh, that happens, people come and go. But if your shit constantly keeps going down, like you ain't gonna be so cavalier and so cool with the shit. You're gonna be like, man, how am I gonna get my people back? So that's what I'm saying. For me, my whole thing was, like I said, I started this just basically to find somebody. I mean, if people want to rock with me, that's cool. If I got like 100 subscribers overnight, whatever, or like subscribers or views or whatever, that's cool. But I didn't get into it for the numbers. When you start chasing these numbers and you ain't getting the shit, it fucks with your mind. Like, what am I doing wrong? This, that, and the other. I'm just like, whatever. Because I had a YouTube channel before. Like I started it in not spitting game, but Brojito RDX. I started that over like '09, and then it was just nothing I really wanted to really get on and saying anything, because everything I wanted to say, people was already saying this shit anyway. So why am I gonna speak on it? You know, whatever the case is, they was already saying the shit. So fuck it. Why? Well, I'll just be one other person to say it. But what would I be if I was gonna be on YouTube? It was gonna be I was doing something that would have been unique. Like even with this, some of my videos is like, since I'm making a video game / movie or like 3D art, I would know the ins and outs about how certain things are made in like CGI movies or video games. That's a perspective, and then I'm black on top of that. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? You very rarely see black people pulling this off. So that would have been like my niche for people to be like, oh shit, there's a black game developer. And at the time, I didn't know, like, there was only like one dude I knew, and it was Jonathan Winbush. But then I saw like Axe NK, he was black, and then this other dude was my man is basically, I bought the tutorial how to do the braids. I think his name is Emmanuel or something. He's like the South African brother. I was like, whoa. Then there's like these like African, it's like an African chick and an African dude, and they have this channel, and it starts with the L. And I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing. Because it's a small group of us doing shit like this. You see what I mean? And the ones I'm talking about, only me and Jonathan Winbush seem like American black people. You know what I mean? The other ones, they seem like they have accents. You know what I mean? So even with the whole American black people, that's even smaller. But just, you know what I mean? That's like a thing. That's like, but if you just talking about like something anybody else could talk about, I mean, how unique are you really? But I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna redo her hair, but I had to get this off my chest, because dude and his people was crazy. But anyway, money over stink holes.